System, and more counties than anybody, and this little city's on fire. I want to come over here to support you all tonight for what you're trying to do. This is a good thing you all are doing, and we appreciate it. I wish I had more cities that do this, because this is how I find out what's important to you. And I understand tonight I'm going to get to hear from your tourism and a lot of different agencies with the city for what you're doing. But I applaud this city, applaud the mayor and your council for putting this together, and all the community, everybody here that's come here tonight. This is how stuff gets done in Kentucky, and I'm very proud that I'm your senator and that I'm here tonight to celebrate with you all what we're trying to get going on here. So thank you.
And Senator, we appreciate you and everything you do for us. So let's get on with it. First up will be Paintsville Tourism Representative, Mr. Josh Johnson.
Hello, we had our last one in June. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Josh Johnson. I'm the Tourism Director. I've been the Tourism Director now for a little over a year. I'm happy to say that in the past year, we've made a lot of accomplishments. We've come a long way in the past year. Since June, we had our last one. We actually had a summer concert out back here at Paint Creek, and we got a sponsor for that. That was a very successful event. That was at the end of June. We've had our annual open mic nights here at the SIP. It's the second Saturday of every month. Those are successful. We have a lot of local talent right here at home that you would not believe that, in my opinion, should be on American Idol. And that's always a huge success. We do our monthly movies here. We have a monthly movie every month that's sponsored by Appalachian Wireless. At the end of July, we actually had our annual Picnic on Paint out back. It was our second annual event. It was even bigger than the first year, which was good. We had a lot of community support, a lot of businesses and individuals that sponsored tables for that, and it was a great evening. We provided entertainment, food, and it was just a wonderful event. It was a little warm during that day, but when the sun went down, it was a great event out back here. Some other things that's been going on here is we're gearing up, as you can see behind me. Christmas time's a-coming. Story Patch has been doing their theater performance here. The schools have got their dates booked for here. They're going to do their concerts here. The bands, the theater groups, everybody's gearing up for the holidays, which excites me because I love seeing the SIP used for our locals. It's a wonderful facility. As you all know, these seats are awesome because if I sit down for longer than 5 minutes, I want to take a nap. But the SIP constantly has stuff going on. We've actually got a gospel show coming up, gospel weekend, the first weekend in November. And some of the other things we've had here in town is we've had our first night market a few weeks ago. Huge success, huge success. I'm very thankful for that. Everybody seemed to like it, and I'm happy to say we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's actually Small Business Saturday in town. We will do it that evening. I think it's November the 24th. And that kind of in a nutshell is what we've been doing here. And of course, you know, as we go on through the year, we won't do another one of these till probably after the first of the year. Christmas time's coming. We have a lot planned for Christmas. Main Street's working on Christmas. I'm working on Christmas. Shop with the Cop's going to be doing a benefit here to raise money, so I encourage you to come out and support that in December. And then also in December is we're going to do a double feature movie for the kids. I don't remember what we're going to show, but we do this every year for the kids. They really enjoy it. They come in their PJs, and last year we done the Polar Express and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So I don't know what we'll show this year, but the kids always enjoy it. We give them snacks and hot chocolate, and they have a great time. Also for tourism, I've kind of touched on downtown and what we're going on here. Across town, you know, we've got the Country Music Highway Museum. We're gearing up. It's wedding season. Believe it or not, Paintsville in eastern Kentucky is one of the top destinations for weddings. Last year at the Mountain Home Place alone, we had 35 weddings just at the farm. And most people's like, well, I never thought to get married on the farm. It's actually a beautiful scenery and makes for beautiful pictures. We have a wedding actually every weekend at the farm right now through the end of the season. The museum as well has stuff booked every weekend. It is a wedding destination, as most of you know as well. We have our front porch picking every Thursday night, and we just finished our dinner club. It's the second Friday of every month. We done Disney thing this past Friday because It's football season, as we all know. We geared something towards the little kids. We done Disney themed, and we had the kids really enjoyed it. We had Woody from Toy Story and all kinds of people that showed up, so that was good. Also, I can tell you that we've been working on another tour package for Paintsville. It's called Welcome Home, which I'm pretty proud of. We have a lot to offer here that a lot of people don't even realize, not even our own community. I actually yesterday was in Paintsville with a group meeting with them, and I told them, I said, do you all even realize we have the world's longest aerodynamic bridge in Johnson County? And they looked at me like, what's that? I said, it's plastic. We've got it right here in Eastern Kentucky in Johnson County, and most people don't even know it exists. And we have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to offer. Jenny Wiley Grave, I mean, there's all kinds of things, not only here in town, but out in the county as well. The Oscar, I mean, I could go on and on. But I'm very proud of home, and we have several different tour packages that we worked on to offer people the best for the price, and the more people that come, the cheaper it is for them. Ramada's worked with us to get a group rate, so I'm excited what the future holds. We're currently booking, we've got tour groups that are booking right now for 2019, so that should make everybody excited. That's one of the things I get asked a whole lot is, when's the tour groups coming? When's the tour groups coming? Those are actually booked 1 to 2 years in advance, so I'm happy to say we are working on 2019. And I'm very excited. So, in a nutshell, that's what we've been doing and what we're going to do. I encourage you to keep up with us on Facebook, of course. We're on the radio every week. We have a talk show at the radio station on both stations that we provide updates every week and upcoming events. And they're nice enough to do a remote for us once a month. So, we're constantly trying to update things. The newspaper's really good about putting stuff in area briefs. So, I'll open the floor. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
How many tours buses do we have all scheduled for this summer so far?
For next year?
For this summer?
How many have we had? Between us and what Prestonsburg has brought, I think it's 27. I want to see it up in the 80s, and we can do it, and we're going to do it. It'll take us a couple years to get back. I know you all know before I came, there was a huge turnover on tourism directors. But that problem's been fixed, and I'm not going anywhere. The key to that is constant and consistency, because when you go to these tour conventions, I have a 7-minute window appointment with an individual to sell Paintsville and answer their questions and get them to come and book here. So that's the key to that. I've got to build relationships, and I'm working on that. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So I subscribe to the paper and I like Paintsville Tourism, on Facebook, and you're rattling off all these great things that are happening, and I honestly didn't know about half of them. I think we need to do a better job of putting it out there so that people know that these things are going on and that they could take advantage of it.
Well, we also advertise on WYMT. I have our local channels around Paintsville puts our stuff on there. The Hometown TV puts stuff on there. I'll take any suggestions that you're willing to offer as far as other avenues for marketing, but we're really trying to cover all avenues.
You have the app, Paintsville app?
We have an app for your smartphone too. We have a website, all kinds of different stuff. But I'm open to any suggestions, trust me. If you think you've got a bad idea or a bad suggestion, trust me, I want to hear it, because we don't need to do the same thing we've done for 25 years. We need to do new, fresh things.
And if she has the local app, it'll come up on there too. So we have a Paintsville app and a local app that will give you all the information that you just spoke about.
So is that a tourism app or?
The tourism app, you just search
Is that
Paintsville Tourism in
different?
your phone.
Yeah, I have that one, but are you talking about a different app?
It's called Local. It's
Local?
actually through Facebook. And
Okay.
what it does is it pulls all the events. If you create an event and it's within like a 25-mile radius, it
Okay.
automatically notifies you of all the upcoming events.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, with the festival coming up right around the corner, will we see anything new this year for the festival?
Are you talking about the Apple Festival?
Yes.
Actually, Mr. Brian Jeffers is with the Apple Festival behind me, and he will update you on the Apple Festival. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Now representing the Chamber of Commerce, Judy Daniel.
Glad to see everyone out this evening. As far as what we are doing, we actually actually just came off of our largest event of the year, which was our annual awards dinner and banquet. We had a huge crowd. We were so pleased. And thank you to the newspaper, to the Paintsville Herald and the Big Sandy News and WYMT. We had excellent coverage. I guess about 180 people in attendance. So we were really pleased with that. We encourage everyone to submit any news about your business, any promotions that you have, any specials that are going on. And we will put that in our electronic newsletters and our social media outlets. And we would also encourage you to come out and network with your fellow chamber members at things like the annual awards dinner, the golf scramble, open house, business after hours. And if anybody's interested in hosting a business after hours, we would love for you to reach out to us. We're here for you. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you, I've ordered a quantity of these, but through our local chamber, we also have support on a statewide basis. And through the efforts in Frankfurt, they've put together some publications. There's Results for Business and A Citizen's Guide to Kentucky's Economy. And honestly, when you look at the mountain counties in this publication, it looks pretty bleak. And that just means that all of us in this room have a lot of work to be done. But we can all make a difference. And that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? I take that as a no. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Daniel. Maybe we can get our senator to help us out some there. Next on the list is Paintsville Recreation Center Representative, Mr. Scott Shoes Hale.
Thank you, everyone. I'm sure by now everybody knows who I am. Just going to give you a little update on what's going on at the rec center. The rec center continues to stay busy. For those of you not familiar with us, I mean, we have things down there almost every evening, meetings, classes, organizations come in, have dinners. We open the door to just about anybody and everybody wants to come down there and access facility for any event. After school program recently started when school started, so we have any time on Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. We have 25, 30 kids down there with a couple of educators that are helping these kids finish their homework, tutor these kids. Once they get done with their homework and tutoring sessions, they get to go out, play on the playground, they stay in, do puzzles, watch movies. It's really a great program for those kids that have trouble, that are playing sports, have trouble getting their homework done. So we've got that going on right now. Holidays are getting ready to start. What that brings is a lot of these organizations start having Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas dinners. More groups will have, or families will have reunions, Christmas during the holidays, they'll have family dinners down there. We're always looking to bring in new things, add new classes, more groups come in, and we'll make space for you. We'll do our best to make time for you. Right now we've got 3 rooms that we can access and open up for you for anything you want to do. As far as the outside goes, obviously it's getting to be winter right around the corner, so there won't be too much going on outside. But if you've been down there recently or seen any pictures, we added a new deck outside, right outside in between our playground areas. Really nice deck, and nobody's here, I believe, from Big Sandy Community Technical College, but Randy Haney with the masonry department, his students came down and built that deck. I believe it's going to add a whole new, different element to the rec center. We can have live music out there, picking in the park, something like that, where you can have music out there, vendors, anything like that. It's a good reading area. We have several of the students go out there and read now. Picnic area when the schools come down and have their school picnics, or anybody else wants to. We hope to have some updates to that deck area in the spring. recently, just this last week. As I mentioned in the last meeting, I've been working with the Johnson County Health Department on some outdoor exercise equipment. We got that done. We got 4 pieces of outdoor exercise equipment in this week. Once we get us some concrete laid out down beside the track, we'll have some outdoor exercise equipment around. So for those that want to walk the track, you can hop off the track, do some ellipticals, do some sit-ups, crunches, pull-ups, etc. Go right back onto the track. And it'll be big enough to where if we get a chance, we'll add more pieces to that. Again, I can't say enough about our staff. I mean, they work very hard. I don't have a huge staff. We try to maintain the rec center, the grounds, as well as the hall building at the golf course to keep it maintained. We have several weddings and events that happen over there as well. And I can't say enough about the hard work they put in, getting everything taken care of for that. Also, you can follow the Paintsville Rec Center on Facebook. That's mainly where I do a lot of my advertising and things that are going on. Each Monday morning, I try to put on an event for each week, Monday through Friday, on what we're having down there, our hours of operation, and what time each thing starts. So I encourage you to get on there on Monday morning if you're interested in what's going on at the Rec Center. And like I said, we do a lot of, I share what's going on with other organizations as well, such as the library. If they've got something going on, I'll share it on there, health department, etc. We work well with those organizations. I see Main Street here. Main Street's back down there rehearsing and working on their next play that's coming out. So it's really important that we get together and work with each other and do the best we can down there. We're going to keep pushing and pushing for that new facility, for that recreation center, possibly up at Tate's Branch. But until that day comes, we're going to continue to work on and improve our current facilities as best we can. And I just ask that you just respect it, and take care of what we have. It ain't much, but we take pride in it, and we want to make sure it's a safe place for you and your children, whoever, to enjoy when they come to our facilities. That's all I got. Any questions?
Not to choose, y'all do a good job down there, and I don't think anybody in the city or the county really recognizes how much is done there. It's almost mind-boggling how much is done at that facility, and how many organizations throughout the county and out of the county that you all help on a daily basis. It's a big job.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Hale. Next on the list, we have Paintsville Main Street Representative, Miss Kathy Jones.
I was nominated last night as the interim Main Street Director, so I really don't know what I'm doing at the present time. I'm just going to go over a list of things that we're doing. I would like some input of some local officials, local people, of things that you all would like to have Main Street do. Currently, we are working on the fall planning. We had just ordered, I think, 30-some mums, right, Lisa? And they are big and huge, and they're meeting Thursday at 6 o'clock downtown Main Street to go ahead and plant these mums. We also have the pumpkin house that is coming up. I'm not quite sure on the date of that. What is that date, Lisa? Okay. And then we have the window decorating contest. We have the Halloween and the Christmas is coming up. We have the Santa and Mrs. Claus at the Stafford House on December 1st. We're tentative on those dates of the pumpkin house and the window decorating. We've got the flyers out, but we have to make sure the dates are correct. We are still doing the 12 days of Christmas downtown. I'm not familiar with that yet, but I'm sure I will be. And under new business, we have decided to hold it's like 22 counties beauty pageant here. And we're going to hold it at the Rec Center on November the 10th. And currently that's all we have, but if you all have any questions or anything you'd like to see us Main Street do, I'd like to hear from you. And again, I'm Kathy Jones, and I'm actually a native of Ashland, Kentucky. We moved to Daytona Beach for 4 years and ended moving back to Paintsville. I love this little town, and I think it is beautiful. Do you have any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Mrs. Jones. Next up will be Representative Brian Jeffries from the Kentucky Apple Board.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Kind of come in here punting for Ray Tossi. He's the chairman of the festival. I had another commitment tonight, but try to run over quickly. Of course, it's here. We've got a little over a week now until the festival actually officially begins downtown. The pageants are with Miss Apple Blossom this Saturday night. We'll have all that done. So events all through the week. Senator, one new thing we do have coming up this year is the Ducky Derby. One of the academic teams is doing that. They're going to have a rubber duck race out here in Paint Creek, so that'll be a lot of fun. But we're always pursuing new ideas. We're actually going to have those of y'all who may have waited a long time in a line with a kid for the train ride over here. Tourism has a train now. They're going to be operating our train this year. So trying to keep everything local. We had a Shriners group that used to come do that, but now they've got one. We want to keep those rides with our local groups here. Live music all through the festival. If you haven't been here before, that's actually my main role. I'm chair of the music on the streets. I get all the bands and so forth. Saturday night, our headliner is Walker Montgomery. His dad is John Michael Montgomery, and I think Walker's going to put on a good show. He's been on CMT, I believe. I know he's got some singles out and so forth. And his opener is a young woman who has roots here in Johnson County, originally from, I believe, over in Van Leer. She was Jamie Fannin originally. She's now Jamie Settle. She's working out of Ohio, but she's come back to open for Walker Montgomery. And then two of the groups that are really doing a lot right now in our area, Wicked Peace and Beck and the Starlight Review, will be playing. That's Friday night. But we have acts all through the day, performers all through both afternoons. So a lot of live music, some new food booths, I think, which is always good news. Of course, we always have some really nice arts and crafts. Everybody knows the festival, and we want to try to work every year to help make things a little bit better and make it a great event for the family, because it's so important to this community, and everybody always has a good time with it. So as I said, we'll be underway this time next week. Things will be happening downtown, and we're looking forward to it, and we'll be looking forward to sleeping in on Sunday the 7th. If anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them best I can.
How many people do you think will attend this year?
All of them. You know, it is really hard to capture it. It's best I know it's in the tens of thousands. I don't know exactly how many. We don't have any kind of gate, anything like that. No turnstiles to count or anything like that. I know the National Park Service has ways of calculating based on the area how many people they estimate are there. We've never done anything very scientific, but when you're looking at these food booths that are handling, $18,000 and $20,000 gross receipts, it's a pretty big impact, and there have to be an awful lot of people in here buying tiger ears to bring in that kind of money. So, very big festival.
Are all the local, are all the food vendors local?
Yes, the only one that's not in Johnson County is Martin County Kiwanis. I believe they'll be back this year. But all the others are nonprofit groups here in the county. I think there may be one church out of Lawrence County. But they're all church groups, civic groups, fire departments, sports teams from both the private leagues, Cal Ripken, Babe Ruth, Little League, city school, county school. They've all got several different food booths moving around. So we've got all the nonprofit booths operating the food downtown. Now over at the carnival crew does bring their own food booths over there, but all the ones downtown are local nonprofits.
Is there anything new, Ron, this year? Anything new that you're doing, or just doing the same thing?
Well, 2015 was a tough year. You all may remember the festival that year. Cold and rainy the whole time. And we took a beating financially that year, and we're still not bouncing back. It cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 to put on the festival. By the time we pay all these different fees and everything, the state has to come and inspect the tents. They have to do electrical inspections. We have a huge insurance premium we pay every year. So we are always open to things. And something that has been discussed, and almost happened this year, but I think is a done deal next year, is that the animal shelter is going to host a dog show, which I think will be something really cool. They're going to do that as a fundraiser. They talked about maybe doing it this year, but they kind of popped the idea at the last minute. They were afraid they wouldn't have enough time to get it together and make it a good one. So I hope that's going to come together for 2019. I think that'll be a great thing, great way for them to raise some money and something new. But there are a lot of things, there are exhibits and things that we hear about. They mail us information, and they say, we can be had for a nice $10,000. We don't have it. It's expensive. This stuff is incredibly expensive. The musical town, people give me a hard time saying, who are these people? Never heard of them. If I got somebody they'd heard of, I mean, it's astronomical, and it's gotten higher and higher and higher. And all that's confidential. I'd drop some numbers right now and tell you what people cost. But the people you're hearing on the radio a lot are in the 6 and 7 figures routinely just to come and show up. So we want new things. We're always interested in new things, and it's just a matter of either finding things that can pay their own way, or just for us to recover a little bit financially where we have a chance to initiate some new things. But we definitely want to try to add new events every year.
Well, it's so important to the nonprofits in the city.
It is.
I don't think people know that either.
No. Well, I'm a member.
It's paramount to what we need to do, and it's the churches, not just the churches, it's a lot of nonprofits and different organizations, like you just said.
Right. For years we had the concert over at Johnson Central on Saturday night and sold tickets and all that. And if you all remember in those days, when the parade was over, we rolled up the sidewalks and went home. The thing was done because people were tired. They went home. Those who were coming to the concert wanted to go home and eat, clean up, and come back. But we were losing money on that, and they decided, and this is before I was on the board, but they say, hey, the lights and sound are already set up downtown. We're having to pay them to tear it down, move it to Johnson Central, and then try to sell tickets over there. Let's leave them set up downtown. Let's just find somebody we can afford to pay outright, have a free show, keep people downtown so they continue to go get a pop or a sandwich or whatever while they're there for the show. And so now these booths are operating until 8:30, 9, 10 o'clock at night on Saturday. And so we try to build everything in a way that is beneficial to the nonprofits to try to keep people here and keep them spending. I know I'm a member of W.R. Castle Fire Department. We do the waffle fries and the sausage sandwiches, and we cleared about $5,000 last year, and that's given another $5,000 to Rock House. They work with us. That's one booth that's bringing in $9,000, $10,000. Oil Springs, I think they probably clear more than that. I'm not sure. I mean, these are extremely important things. That's about 10% of our budget at the fire department. So we're all committed to trying to make sure that our nonprofit groups can bring in some revenue from the festival. But I know what people say, that it is just a lot of the same old things. And there's always a line you have to walk between continuing a great tradition that everybody enjoys and bringing in new things. And we always want to try to keep things fresh, and to the extent that the budget can handle it, there's definitely not any opposition to bringing in new events that we think will really bring people downtown. We had the fish tank over here a few years ago, big old, the bass fishing tank over here where the eye doctor, next to the eye doctor. So we're always doing that. I think that thing set us back about $4,000. This stuff is just really, really expensive, and as money allows, we want as many new things as we can get, and as groups wish, we're always interested in bringing in new events and activities too. Anything else?
Brian, what's your cutoff date in order for you to participate as a vendor in Apple?
For the food concessions, we have our vendor meeting is the last Thursday in July, and everything needs to be decided by then, because that's when everybody comes together and they come to consensus on our controlled items. For example, pop. We all have to discuss, what are we going to charge for a 20-ounce bottle of pop this year, so that everybody charges the same thing. They have to commit on their booth size, their electrical needs. They need to know that, pay their fee and all that information, so that we can start to map everything out and make sure we can fit everything in. So that's the last Thursday in July, 6 o'clock, Mayo Auditorium. Anything else? All right, appreciate y'all inviting me. Thank you.
Mr. Jeffries, thank you. Do we have a representative for Trail Town here tonight? Okay, Trail Town is not here. Let me remind you of a couple things. Miss Patricia, have you set a date for the next town hall?
Well, I haven't at this time. We'll have it figured out next month. Before the city council meeting, we'll have the next date.
Okay, so we can announce that next date at the city council meeting, next city council meeting. As you can see, we've got a lot of good people that do a very good job. And we've had a busy, busy summer. We're doing great things here in Paintsville, and we're going to continue to move forward. And let me remind you before I close, there is a suggestion box out front. If you've got any suggestions whatsoever on how we can improve not only the town halls, but also the city of Paintsville, we would be glad to hear them. And like I say, I want to thank all these people behind me. I want to thank all the citizens of the city of Paintsville. And I want to thank my staff in City Hall that we are proving that this can become a great town. And we are going to become a great town. But we all have to work together. And we all have to be dedicated to the city. I want to thank all of you for coming. And we'll get the next town hall meeting announced at the next City Hall meeting. Yes, Mr. Ronnie.
Why don't you also, I didn't hear it earlier, I was out front and everything. Why don't you tell people, you got the mic up there, there's an event this Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
You know, I'm glad you're here, son. I appreciate that. We are going to do a dedication in the plaza at 10 a.m. on Friday morning. To myself and City Council, this is going to be a very important dedication. And we invite all of you and anybody that you can tell to come out at 10 o'clock on Friday morning at the plaza, and we are going to do a dedication. I will not tell you what that dedication is at this time. I will tell you at 10 o'clock on Friday morning.
And where do they need to be?
You can be right there around Hardy somewhere. You'll see us gathered up, and you can come right over and join us.
Right in front of Harvey's, yeah.
Come right over there and join us. I appreciate everybody coming, and let's try to build on these crowds and get more people out. That's what we need. We need a lot of input, and let's keep moving forward. We're doing a good job so far. Thank you very much.